Greetings, everyone. I have been here tonight working in our church studio to for an event on tomorrow, a prayer event. But while I was here, I wanted to stop for a moment and do a quick video, and this is specifically for YouTube. First of all, on my channel, I want to thank the subscribers that I do have on my channel and those who have said encouraging words about certain videos that I've done and really have been, encouraged. It's been a while since I've done some video, since I've done some a video and uploaded it, and so this is the first in a while, and just had some things going on, but I really plan to begin to focus more on the channel. I'm not saying I'm gonna do a video every week at this point, but I definitely want to get back into that vein. I really enjoyed the research. I really enjoyed dealing with certain topics that I've dealt with up to this point. Now, as you can see, there's a picture of Dr. Martin Luther King in your frame, and tonight I want to just share briefly, because I'm actually working on and gathering information even now to do a piece on Dr. King, and a piece in response to the various videos that I've come across of late, even the documentary that has come out, MLK / FBI. The documentary, just surprised if I saw it correctly. The documentary is already released on YouTube. You can see I paid to see it about 2 or 3 months ago, I think it was, and now it's out free. It's like they really trying to push that information. But I say that because in that documentary, and it's another video that I seen recently. I think this woman is called Cindy Black or something or other, but she did a piece on Dr. King, and to me it was really a hatchet job, and really it's clear. I could just see clear agenda there, that I really believe that she's a front person for a larger operation that has targeted Dr. King. Now, this may sound conspiracy theory, Illuminati type stuff, but I'm convinced that there has been with the documentary, this Sydney Black character and some others. I'm convinced that there's tremendous effort being made to reassassinate Dr. King. And I believe it's because, first of all, Dr. King, if you do the math, I'm almost convinced that Dr. King is one of the most celebrated figures in American history in this hour, 50 plus years after his death. And he's the most popular figure in American history. If you think about it, on his birthday, there's marches all over the country. There's still reports made. Where are we in his dream? Remember the dream, and all these different things that are done. And his messages are timeless. And see, the thing of it is, we are in, and I'm a minister of the gospel, we're in a very evil world, and it's getting more evil. And there are just powers that be that hated his message then. It was not, and I'm not even really referring to the black-white thing. I'm just talking about the love, the goodness that he spoke on, and the values that he articulated in his speeches. They're just evil people that hate that message. And so to silence, and if you really look at it, as I said, he's one of the most popular, if not the most popular, celebrated figures in American history right now. On his birthday, marches, reports still on the news, all sorts of things happen all over the country. Name me one other well-known figure in American history. I mean, we could even look at the presidents. On President's Day, on Washington's birthday, which, if I got it correctly, that's President's Day. They lumped his birthday in with the rest of them. And you still don't. What kind of events went on President's Day just blew right by. And yet Dr. King every year. And then not only is there tremendous celebration on his birthday, but then the following month, Black History, he gets a large chunk of that attention as well. And so there's just evil people that just hate the message. And I'm convinced there is a concerted effort. There's an agenda afoot to try to re-assassinate Dr. King, to silence him, they feel, once and for all. See, the powers of evil never banked on Dr. King actually becoming more popular and famous after his death than while he was alive. And so there's this effort, and I'm convinced, because when I watched this, I think Cynthia Black, when I watched that video, it was just so full of just, the talking points that have been around long before she was born. These same talking points to try to discredit, he's a communist, he did this, and then of course, they're going to camp on the sex life. And that's what I wanted to take a few moments to just point out, some tremendous discrepancies that any genuinely seeking person for truth has to take this information into consideration. Now, of course, you hear all of the allegations of, well, let's begin with this one. One of the ones that I've just begun to hear is this notion, this claim that Dr. King was actually witnessed a rape. And maybe it's like the fishermen. You know how fishermen, every time they tell a fish story, the next time it gets bigger and bigger and what have you. Because now I'm hearing that Dr. King was in the room, witnessed a rape, and actually not only laughed, but gave some instructions or something. Okay. And now all of this is supposed to come from the FBI. Well, let me just say off the bat, I'm anything that the FBI has to say, as far as I'm concerned, about Dr. King is questionable, since in 1999 it came out in a court of law, folks, that the FBI was a part of Dr. King's assassination. So that kind of kills the credibility of the FBI, as far as I'm concerned. When I'm not going to take any information that you have about a mark that you set up to kill. So that's almost a wrap right there. But the point is, let's look at this though. Let's employ some reasonable and logical thought. And let's just connect some dots here. Now, it's clearly known, and I mean there's no argument. It's clearly known that J. Edgar Hoover. Matter of fact, I heard a video, a comment made that J. Edgar Hoover did everything in his power to try to discredit Dr. King, to try to destroy his capacity to lead effectively the civil rights movement. That being said, now you have all of this hatred by J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI. You have this claim, Dr. King in a room, woman being raped. He even in some way participating by making certain comments. Now, folks, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that would make Dr. King an accessory to rape. There's the perpetrator, but if Dr. King, as I'm hearing some of these stories, if he was there and this was true and he did those things, then he's an accessory to rape. Now mind you, we just established that Hoover wanted to do everything in his power to destroy Dr. King. Well, duh. If one of your agents just caught Dr. King in what amounts to a felony, I'm thinking it's pretty much over for Dr. King. I mean, that would be a wrap, wouldn't it? Accessory to rape. Hoover hates Dr. King. You got what you want. It's a wrap. Kick the door in. Of course, don't leave the perpetrator out. Arrest him. But arrest Dr. King if this is true. Arrest him. He's an accessory. And Hoover, it's a done deal. It was Hoover's wet dream to destroy Dr. King. You got it. You got it. It's right here. He got caught committing a felony if this is true. So, folks, think about it. Why no arrest? Hoover's just been delivered the information he's been dreaming about. Get Dr. King. Get that N word. Get that. Well, you got him. Kick the door in and arrest him. It's over. He goes to prison. He stands trial. Black person in the courtroom back then. It's like, you ain't have to be guilty, you going to prison. But, I mean, you got him. You got him. No arrest. Does that make any sense, folks? I mean, stop and think about that. All these individuals that just want to jump on this bandwagon. Oh, we knew Dr. King was a cheater. My mama used to talk about it. When I was a kid, we all heard about it. You heard what the FBI wanted you to hear. Now, I'm not suggesting that well, let me say this, and let me establish this. I'm not even arguing that Dr. King never cheated on his wife, because I don't know. What I'm arguing is that the information, particularly the information coming from the FBI, all of that mess is dubious. All of that is dubious. It doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. Hoover hates Dr. King. Oh, Dr. King was in the room with a rapist. I hear all these individuals. Oh, I'm so disgusted. I'm so disgusted. You need to wake up. Think about the dynamics. If it was true, the man is a felon. Law enforcement is in the next room. So, why no arrest? Well, folks, let me cut straight to the chase. No arrest because it never happened. The mess was lies. I mean, you can say what you want, but that's the only logical conclusion to Hoover's hatred for Dr. King. If this whole rape thing is true, Dr. King is an accessory to rape. You got him. Kick the door in, arrest the man. You got him. Go celebrate. Never happened. Folks, the only way to process that is it never happened. The arrest never happened because the rape never happened. Let's move on. There's the claim of 40 different women that Dr. King was supposed to have relations with. 40 different women. FBI got all this information. Now, folks, let's not, come on. The FBI can put muscle on anybody they want to put muscle on. They don't have to be guilty. They'll set you up and make you guilty. Some of the stories that I've heard. So you got 40 women, and no FBI agent, not even Hoover, thought to put pressure on any one of these women. I mean, they sleeping around. I don't know what kind of, I heard that even Hoover sent prostitutes in. You got women that you even sent in, and you can't put pressure on these women to come forward and give a statement And let me bust this foolishness up right now. This whole business, and I heard, and I hope he hear this video because that was the most imbecilic response. I mean, it's ridiculous. The individual, the gentleman that did the video, MLK, FBI, whatever. I heard the question was put to him to some, in essence, why, if Hoover had all this dirt, why did he never destroy Dr. King or follow through or something to that effect? And his response was, and I mean, this is the classic response to this because they got to try to figure out a way to explain around the obvious here. Obviously, Hoover hated King. All of this dirt, if it was true, he got everything he wants, but he never goes forward with it. What kind of sense does that make? But this individual makes the claim, well, Hoover tried to leak stuff, and he tried to leak stuff, and no news outlet, no news agency would take it. Really? Come on, man. Come on. Not even in the deep South, they hated black folks. You mean it? Look, you got black folks, you got black men being hung during that period. You got black men being shot, beat to death, even assassinated. Medgar Evers, others. But you can't find somebody that the director of the FBI, you can't find not one person willing. You can kill a black man, but we're not going to tell a bad story about a black man. Now, I'm not saying news agency kill, but when you're talking about the South and that was news agencies, it was popular. I don't know if I need to go down this path right here, but just to point out, let me just say this quickly. In 1955, during the bus boycott, when Dr. King, who was it? E.D. Nixon, and I can't think of the lawyer, and all of them gathered, and they planned to go forward with this bus boycott. I'm not sure if it was the NAACP, but it was an agency. No, it was a women's something agency that was responsible for creating the flyers and getting the word out. Well, one of those flyers, I guess accidentally, it was in the hands of a black lady that worked for this white family. Well, the man of the house of this white family was also the Klan of the house. Or should I say, he was part of the White Citizens Council Klan. And so his wife found this this note that they was this flyer that they were sending out to all the black folks. Stay off the bus Monday. Stay off the bus. She found this flyer, took it to her husband. Her husband took it to the White Citizens Council, their group, KKK meeting or whatever, and they thought it would be humorous. They took it to the local paper. Now, so I'm just showing you access to the news. They took it to the local paper because whoever was the editor, well, he probably was Citizen Council too. Took it to the editor, and they printed the flyer in the paper. Now, they printed it in the paper as a joke to show what these Negroes, they didn't use that word, that N word, but the other one, but they showed what these Negroes was planning. It was a big laugh. Now, these imbeciles didn't realize black folks read the newspaper too. And I mean, it was, and Dr. King got it in his book, and Coretta put it in her book. Both told the story about how these fools put the flyer in the newspaper and actually aided in the success of the bus boycott, because hundreds of thousands of Negroes that the organization never would have reached and got the flyers to, never would have reached them, was able to read it in the paper. Way to go, White Citizens Council. That was a brilliant move. thank you, by the way, because you aided to the success of, which ended segregation and transportation in the South. So hats off. But anyway, so now I just pointed that out to point out, look, folks, it was media outlets. If nowhere else, it was media outlets, news outlets in the South that would have printed anything negative about Dr. King. Give me a freaking break. The director of the FBI, with all the muscle that he has used, or he used, Hoover, and he can't find one news outlet to print, should I say, show one of these photographs. And that's another point that I need to hit, the photographs. No, but I just said that because that's a lame argument, and I want the director or the writer of the movie MLK FBI, I want him to hear it from me too. That was lame, bro. That was lame as heck for you to come. That's your position, that Hoover couldn't find a news outlet to print the dirt on Dr. King, and that's the reason. Give me a freaking break. That's absolutely ludicrous. And anybody who believes that stupid mess is ludicrous. You're not going to convince me. Only weak-minded individuals would even remotely believe something that asinine, that you couldn't find in the whole country one news station, one news outlet that would print dirt on Dr. King. No. And that brings me to the pictures, photographs. Now, folks, we're talking about the FBI. If you thought of football, obviously the helmet, the pads, those are all, you might say, tools of the trade. That goes along with playing football. That's the jock strap, the pads, all that stuff is common. And the same in the FBI. Come on, photographs, cameras. That goes hand in hand with surveillance. And what, for the life of me, I can't grasp 40 women in and out of hotel rooms. Now, it's supposed to be orgies going on. That's another angle I could touch on real quick. No staff heard it. They must have had the most quietest orgies ever. How is all that sex going on? Staff doesn't hear about it. Neighbors in hotel rooms, your guests right next door. Come on, please. But the FBI, this is my point. Okay, photographs and taking pictures in surveillance, that's just a tool of the trade. That's just automatic. That goes without even thinking or saying. All of this debauchery taking place. To listen to some of these reports, you wonder how in the world he ever had time to write a speech or even prepare for one. All this sex going on. But what I'm trying to grasp, though, FBI got ears in the room. I heard some claims they got eyes in the room. Ears and eyes in the room. All this sex. Hoover hates Dr. King. Not a single photograph. Oh, my God. Not one? Not a single. Come on. It would play real well right here. The saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and all the different audio recordings, which is so easy to forge back then. You could forge that, because even now, if somebody came up with pictures now, you waited 50 plus years too late. Because see, the stuff that you can do with Photoshop and all, don't even bring a picture now if you had one. But what I can't, because see, you could forge audio even back then pretty easily. But the pictures, kind of difficult to make that look real. And it's just interesting. Not all this hoeing going on is what I can't understand. All this hoeing going on by Dr. King, and nobody, no FBI. Are these some of the most ignorant, most foolish? How could it be? This much sex and not a single photograph. And then we're going to retreat to, well, we couldn't find a news outlet that would print of the muscle that the FBI, come on, folks, we know. They done put people in the ground. They done killed folks. They done worked with the mafia. They done worked with all kinds of, and you couldn't find a news outlet that you could put a little muscle on and air a photograph of Dr. King in some compromising position if all of this mess was going on and true. Folks, they you know, folks, let me say this. The Jedi mind trick don't work. Well, let me say this, because let me say this, and this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, folks, because when you put lies out there and lie after lie and it goes unchallenged, that's one of the most dangerous things that could ever happen. A lie that goes unchallenged. Because the longer that lie stay out there in the hearing of people, that lie begins to take on and take a shape that makes it look and seem legitimate. That's one of the most dangerous things that could happen, is to let a lie stay unchallenged. And folks, I'm challenging lies right now. I'm challenging things. And listen, this is going to go up on YouTube, but you know, and there's a comment section. I welcome anybody to want to bring argument to the points that I'm making. If Dr. King was in the room with a rape and gave some kind of verbal consent and direction or what have you, that makes him an accessory to a rape. That makes him a felon. These law enforcement officers knew that immediately. So why they didn't kick in the door? They got Dr. King. It's over. It's over. It's exactly what Hoover wanted. It's over. You got him. Hoover, you won. Yet nobody moves in. No arrests take place. That's crazy, folks. I mean, like I said, the only explanation for that is just simply didn't happen as far as I'm concerned. It didn't happen. It can't. How could you have that much dirt? Not a single photograph. Not any arrest when you claiming this man is an accessory to rape. No arrests. 40 women, no pictures. 40 women, none of them come forward giving statement. 40 different women. In all fairness, I think some woman came forward and said that she had some relationship. And let me get on that too. Dr. King's buddies, his friends. Oh my God. Now I wish I had a picture of William Pepper that I could put up right now. William Pepper wrote 3 books, and he was a lawyer that actually argued the case for the King family, having brought suit against Lloyd Jowers, I think if I'm pronouncing his name, who himself implicated himself in the conspiracy for fear of some other issue went on. But he, from what I understand, he went public on Sam Donaldson or something. But the point is, William Pepper wrote 3 books. I think one is Enemy of the State. I think one definitely is The Plot to Kill King, and then it was a third one. And folks, I mean, this man dedicated his life. He's put in over 40 years of research. In that trial, he brought forth over 70 witnesses in 1999, and he won, folks, by a court trial, judge and jury. The verdict came back that the government was guilty, was part of FBI, CIA, was a part of Dr. King's assassination. But let me share who also was implemented in the evidence that came out in the conspiracy. Some of Dr. King's closest associates and friends. You know, some take issue and want more research, but some have in that trial, as I understand it, certainly by Dr. Pepper himself, Jesse Jackson was implemented as a part of the conspiracy. Matter of fact, it was said that he was responsible for having Dr. King's room changed from the ground floor to the second floor, from inside the courtyard to outside on the other side of the building, giving perfect access to Dr. King by the assassin. And folks also implemented. Now, you can go on YouTube and see the video. What's that pastor's name, that minister, that Dr. King was supposed to eat at his house, and he gave his own self away? Reverend Kyles, I think it is. Reverend Kyles gave his own self away. I might even link the video to this, where he said, just as I stepped away so they could have a clear shot, the shot rang out. This, oh my God. Now these are friends now. This the kind of friends. Now some argue, oh, well, Abernathy, his best friend, came out in a book titled "And the Walls Come Tumbling Down." Now some might argue to say, well, that was about civil rights. No, this individual thought he actually could destroy the legacy of Dr. King. And I'm convinced that's what the title really refers to, because he knew what he was going to put in that book. And I believe he was informed, just as he is alleged, it was, as I understand it, it came out that Abernathy was a part of the assassination conspiracy as well. Dr. Pepper identifies Abernathy in one of the books, identifies Abernathy as a part of the conspiracy as well, as I understand it. So these are the kind of friends that Dr. King had. So I'm not even trusting a whole lot of what they had to say, because it was so many. I mean, Dr. King's trusted family photographer, guess what, was a FBI informant. It was so much FBI in Dr. King's circle until, I mean, everywhere he went, when he brushed his teeth, where he was, I actually heard a report that they were at the Lorraine Motel, the FBI, a week before Dr. King arrived. This is how deep they were in his organization. And so, folks, it's just so much foolishness around this, and individuals is quick to, oh, he was a cheater. Well, again, I'm not going to say Dr. King was perfect, and I'm not going to say that he never cheated. I honestly don't know. What I am sending the word out is that this trash that's coming from the FBI, these claims and all of that, no, that's not even, there's no credibility to that mess. And then when you actually stop and logically think about it, Dr. King, if he were guilty, Hoover had him, hands down, caught. Why didn't he go forward with it? Because Hoover knew he could substantiate any of that mess in a court of law. Under scrutiny, he would fall apart, and his own old crooked self would be exposed. He knew he couldn't argue any of that successfully, because he had nothing. Folks, and I heard a person say, and I'm going to end this on this, because this is really sort of impromptu. I'm working on a video, an actual with some clips and everything. I'm just uploading this for anybody who wants to see it. I heard a person say once, and I think it was a comment in the comment section, and it was just, I mean, I don't think you could sum it up in any other way. If pictures existed, Hoover would have used it. If Dr. King committed a felony by participating in some way in a rape, Hoover would have used it. If Dr. King had 40 women, all these women he slept with, Hoover would have muscled them to get something out of them. None of this stuff appeared. None of this stuff came to the surface. And this tape that was sent to his wife, William Pepper, if I heard him correctly, he's convinced that was a hoax. That was a FBI fabrication. And even Miss King, and I know there's that was his wife. Obviously, he obviously she gonna stand up for him. But she said no, she didn't believe it was real because, matter of fact, she made the statement that there was certain things she heard that she felt was her and him together. Certain things that she knew, and she felt it was her and him. So, folks, at the very least, again, I'm not arguing Dr. King never cheated because I don't know. Is there ample evidence, including a few friend testimonies? Dude, no, I don't accept that no more than I accept the FBI's lies and whatnot, because these individuals were reached. The FBI got to them. It came out in a court of law. Implemented. Some of his closest associates, friends, were found culpable, if I use the word correctly, guilty of being a part of that conspiracy. Now, is he a saint? No. Did he cheat? Like I said, I don't know. He might have. But what I'm arguing is this bogus information and all of this, as I said before, particularly this trash that came from Hoover and the FBI. No, I mean, the stuff, it doesn't add up. If it added up, Dr. King is a felon. So why didn't he go to jail? If it adds up, Dr. King, all these hotels and orgies and whatnot, you got FBI on him. Why no photographs? Why no pictures? And we talking about that's part for the, that's one of the main elements of surveillance for FBI. Photographs. Not one. Why? Because Hoover loved him secretly? Well, he might have. I don't know. He was kind of twisted. No, Hoover wasn't a good person. And he wasn't cutting Dr. King any slack. He didn't go forward with this stuff because the stuff just simply didn't exist. That's the way I'm going to leave this, folks. God bless.